Let's continue the series of the book Season 1. This is the second episode. If you haven't watched the first episode, please check the link in the description below. I would really appreciate it if you drop a like to this video. Let's get it on. John is now in the city living with his uncle in Buhati, Nairobi. Earlier he said, "If only I knew Nairobi would turn me into a helpless person, I would have hated the look of it for good as I now do." After 2 years in secondary school, I did my KJSE and got good results. I did not want to go back to school, but since I did not have anything else to do, I was forced by circumstances to go back. In 1965, before the end of the third year, I was expelled from school for taking part in a strike. I was the ringleader, and so I was expelled with my followers. I never reported this to my parents, since I needed the money they gave me for school fees and the daily bus fare I got from my uncle. I would therefore wake up early, as usual, taking my bag and bus fare, and I would go to town. Sometimes I was given money to eat out, and sometimes I would go home for lunch. It would have worked out all right, or so I thought, if my brother Sammy had not interfered. I think he became jealous of the fact that I was fitting myself better with my school fees. I have told you of that part of my uncle, since I always think that it was the cause of all my troubles. I was then used to town life, going from this nightclub to the other, and I was sure there was nothing better in life except maybe the movies. I do not know even today how my brother came to know about all this, but he knew. He wrote home and informed my parents without my knowledge. They must have written to my uncle to tell him they would come, for as I came to work out later, he knew they were coming. My aunt was not aware, for she would have told me, since we were on very good terms. She had arrived a week before my parents. One bright Saturday morning, my uncle told me not to go out to town. He said he would come back soon and wanted a word with me. I should have guessed then, but I didn't. At about 12 my mother arrived. At 4 o'clock my father arrived with my brother Sammy. I was not surprised to see them, for they used to make such visits at least once every month. In the evening, when we had all taken our supper, my father started. We were all seated around the table discussing one thing or another. He said, "How are you doing in school, young boys?" I said I was. Let's continue the series.